questions that I get. So number one is how to run a show. You could also do a private show. You could do a private show, and you could practice and run things, and it kind of like take your time, no pressure. No one's in that show at all. You could invite someone into the show. You could have a private show with a customer as well too. So you could do private shows, or just again practice that. I definitely encourage people to practice a little bit, kind of getting used to how touching and fixing the mounts and the weights and stuff like that during your life. So another question I get, number two, is shipping. Tell me about shipping. I don't understand shipping. Shipping's so confusing. How do we work with the shipping? Also, how to make sales and how to gain followers. Okay, so we're going to talk about that as well too. Creating goals. You may not know this, but everybody who comes on this selling journey, they all have a goal. We all have a goal, and we're going to talk about that goal. Again, people may not know what that goal is, but some of you may have, if you've already been selling and you already hit 1,000 sales, you may know what that goal is. But again, for a new person coming in, we don't know what that goal is. All right, so how to thumbnails. We're going to talk about thumbnails. Maybe I'll show you guys how to create a thumbnail. I create the thumbnails for free. Some people are paying for their thumbnails. So I'm going to tell you guys a particular app that I'm using to create the thumbnails. Okay, guys? And maybe we can work on one on live. All right, packing. How do we pack our orders? What kind of boxes I can use, or packing materials. So we'll talk about packing as well too. Tracking items sold. Sorry guys, I have something in my eye. Tracking items sold. How do we track the items? A lot of people don't know that they're once they sell something, that there is, you get your USPS label, and you just track it directly to that particular order and see where it's at. Because I don't know, lately you have to really be tracking your items, because sometimes some items, I got an item that came back today, and sometimes it's because people put the wrong addresses and stuff like that. So we'll talk about how to contact whatnot anytime a package comes back to you. Also, we're going to talk about not losing money with shipping, guys. A lot of people tend to lose money on shipping, and it's because maybe they're not weighing their items carefully. We're going to talk about discounted shipping, or what is free shipping, or what is how, if you're going to pay part of the shipping. We're going to talk about that too. Because again, I want everybody to be a boss lady, a boss person. I don't want you guys to be a D-stasher and you don't care and you're not making any money out of it. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about that. Resolving order issues. So how to resolve those issues. Again, sometimes your customer will message you, I haven't got my, my package, or you sent me the wrong item, whatever it is. Communicating with whatnot. How do we get in contact with them? How do we let them know what's going on with the orders? Fixing or requesting new labels. This is where a lot of people will go out of the app and purchase a label with a post office, because maybe they sold something or they forgot to put something, and they're kind of going outside the app. I would definitely recommend never ever to go outside the app and purchase any labels, guys. Okay, at all, ever. So another question is, so you guys, what I'm reading is actually in my show notes. So you guys look at my show notes, pull it down. So these are just some common questions that I put together, or things that people want to learn. So definitely go into the show notes. It's a little yellow box, and then you just click on it, and it give you a list of what I'm reading right now. The next one is tax questions. You're going to do your taxes at the end of the year. You guys, I've had an amazing year here on Whatnot. An amazing year, you guys. I've made so much and I'm so scared because if you make over 20,000, guys, which I made over 20,000, and you have to have losses. So we're going to talk about some of those losses. What can we use as a tax write-off? Okay. I'm not a tax expert. I don't claim to know everything about preparing taxes and stuff like that. Your tax person takes care of that. But one thing I will tell you, save your receipts. I don't care if it's a gas receipt, whatever type of receipt, even if it's you went to the doctor and you had to get medicine, you save that receipt, okay, guys, because all that is taxable, okay? If you bought tape, printer, labels, anything storage unit, maybe have a storage unit. I don't know. You might have to use that for your taxes if you're making, a lot of sales here on Whatnot. So the next thing is inventory. We're going to talk about, again, inventory is a little bit hard because it's based on state to state, and a lot of people, they'll buy storage units, or they'll go to the swap meet. Sometimes on Facebook, you guys, and also OfferUp, they have a lot of people selling stuff there that in your area that you may not know about, and so that might be good source to find new inventory. Joining trains or groups, you guys. We're going to talk about that as well too. You definitely want to collab with others. You definitely want to be part of a group that you can join some trains and gain new followers. We're going to talk about customer service. I'm going to tell you guys some story time, some things that I've had to deal with when it comes to customer service. And we're also going to talk about moving shows into other categories. It's very important that we move our shows. If you feel that there's only like 2 or 3 people in your show, guys, but what you're selling could be in other categories, like instead of closing the show out, why don't we just switch over to that category? Why don't we test and go to different categories and see if maybe we can gain more customers? Because that's what I do, guys. I do category hopping. I move my show around. I tell my husband, like, okay, go and move me to the vintage decor. You could go, again, depending on what you're selling, you can go definitely. So kind of scope out different categories and see where you can sell your items, okay? The next thing is talking about scammers and trolls. We definitely have those. So we're going to talk about that because some people fall for some traps. And so I'll tell you the different ways that people will scam you. Cloning or entering listings. That's another thing a lot of people don't know is how to take, let's say if I had a show, how to take those same items that I didn't sell or that I want to have for the next show. How do I get those and transfer them to the next show? Okay, we're going to talk about that as well too. And we're going to talk about managing your own emotions and frustrations. I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes you feel all kinds of emotions. We're humans. We feel all kinds of things. Sometimes we're, frustrated. A lot of times maybe there's something going on that's very frustrating. And so how to kind of, not only that, sometimes like myself, I tend to join a lot of rate trains. I have my regular shows. And so sometimes I stress my own self, you guys. I definitely do because I have so many shows and so much on my plate. But again, how do we stay consistent? How do we gain new followers? How do we gain new viewers? So that's another thing to think about as we're going into this journey of reselling. What can happen if you are suspended from Whatnot? We're going to talk about some of the things that I've seen happen to other sellers, which has never happened to me, but it could happen to anyone. And so making sure that you maintain a good rapport with your customers, maintain a good rapport with keeping up with your shipping. Again, saying certain things on the app that could affect your business. So again, remember, we are business minded. We're going to stay as much as we can professional on the app and do things, according to the policy and procedures of whatnot, you guys. All right. Another thing that I'm getting is hosting and collabing with other sellers. That is fun too, guys. It's fun to have, like, right now I'm having a craft and chat. And if anybody wants, like, come on with me and we could just maybe do crafting together, or maybe one person is, selling and the other person could be just there as a support, that could also be something you could do in collab. I've done it before where we're doing like a demo and the person is doing something very similar, and then I'm the one doing the demo and selling. So I do have a collab coming up with Gather Crafter. It's going to be further next year because, again, we joined a rate train where both of us will be together at the same time. And I'm going to talk about that too, because there are some things that can happen when you're collabing with others, which can affect the noise. Again, you got to be careful with the noise. And also, if you have any other burning questions, you guys, about anything that maybe I didn't talk about from the list, definitely let me know. If you wish to review the show, you guys, you need to make a purchase. So if you make a purchase, even if it's a small purchase, you guys, you can go back into the video receipt, and I'll talk about the video receipt where you can watch the entire show again. And if you want to make, give me a tip. Those are appreciated as well too, guys. I sometimes help people on the outside of whatnot. So I always tell people, hey, if you want my 100 attention, or you have questions, or you're too embarrassed to say something on the live, you're welcome to send me your number and I will give you a call when I have some time to call you guys. I try to do those right away. And you can save my number. And at any time, you can always call me. Sometimes people text me and they're like, hey, this is happening, or should I do this, or whatever it is. And so a lot of people, sometimes they just need a little reassurance, or like, oh yeah, the way you're doing it is okay, whatever it is. Some people just may need that. And so I appreciate, doing the one-on-ones. And I've gotten a couple of tips, you guys. It's very sweet. But again, we want to make sure that we're running smooth shows. So let other people know that we're going to get started. We're going to talk about shipping right now. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of selling on whatnot. Let everybody know that we are going to get started. Again, the questions that outline is in the show notes. If there's something there that you want to learn about, let me know. All right, so I'm closing the show notes. Thank you for coming in, friends. Welcome in. So are you guys ready? Are we ready to become resellers? It did help. Thank you for sharing, you guys. I do appreciate it. All right, here we go, besties. I hope you guys are all ready to learn about reselling. And if there's any questions, put it in the chat. And as the chat's moving, I'll go back up and see if I can catch some of those questions. All right. Hey, Snazy. Sue, welcome in. Debbie, thank you for coming in. Valerie, welcome in, Valerie. All right. If I missed your name, I do apologize. I want to say is it L file P? I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Check app. Also, I keep forgetting to say this, you guys. You can actually open more than one account on whatnot. You could actually have up to 8 accounts. I have 2 other accounts. One is called A Place to Craft, and the other one is called Target Brands, because I do sell a lot of Target clothing. So you could open up more than one account. So maybe if you just want the username to be your crafter name, or if you want a username to be your clothing brand or whatever, you're selling clothing or whatever it is, I don't know. And my crafty name is it's a place to craft on other platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And I also created one that's plus size gals also. Sometimes it's written a little bit different because maybe somebody already has that username. You can do that too. Also, I would do recommend that if you're using like a TikTok or Instagram or something like that, you could also put it in your not want to say show notes. You could put it in your show notes, but you could also put it in your profile. Definitely would suggest if you have another platform that you put it, place it there so that people can follow you as well too. I know I've seen when I read people's profiles, I do see that they'll put just the information to their Facebook or something like that. Anyways, let's get started. Today we went to a park and took some photos with my cousins, and so I'll show you guys a photo how they came out. But we just took photos because we're going to have a family reunion next year, and sometime I think it's going to be in June. And so I'm part of the committee, and so I had to go today, and so I had to kind of do my face, my makeup. I normally don't have makeup on. I like crazy hair day, but today my hair is decent. So that's why I came on and showcase who I am. All right, guys, let's go ahead and switch over to my board. Hey, Faithy. Hey, Angie. Welcome in. Hey, Anna Sil. So I'm going to create like a little board to kind of show you the breakdown of the shipping. Let me get a trusty pen over here, and we are going to get started. I'm going to put the camera down so that you guys can see. I'm going to do story time too while we're also writing everything down. So, and the very top, you guys, I want you to, again, answer that question that you guys see right here. What kind of seller are you? Are you a D-stasher or a boss lady? So I try to get people to become more of a boss lady or boss person, whatever you want to call yourself, man, woman. And then I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hopefully you guys can see okay. If you can't, let me know. All right. We're going to talk about the good. We're going to talk about the bad. And we're going to talk about the ugly. Okay. I always tell people that your first show is going to be your shit show, okay? Because again, it's trial and error. So make sure you put a little line there. And we're going to divide this paper too. So again, we're going to use part of the paper because I'm going to do a little scenario with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line now. And like I said, first shows, I'm going to put right here, first show. Again, it may not be a shit show. You may just have a really amazing show, but just know that it's okay that it's, you're still learning, you're fumbling, whatever your first shows, your heart's still, beating fast. And so again, that's when we need to kind of regulate our emotions a little bit. And sometimes there's misunderstandings in shows. And so again, sometimes we're not everybody's cup of tea. But like I said, hopefully you have a successful first show. Now we're going to talk about, we're going to create a little box right here, and we're going to talk about what our goals are. What is our goal? Because we have a goal. And that goal, I hope, it's to hit 1K item sold. Okay, that is our goal. And why do plus size, I don't have have a goal, but like, why is that important? All right, guys, the reason why 1K sales is so important is because you get something called instant payout. Okay? That's what our goal is. Our goal is to get instant payout. So right now, you as a new first time seller, you're not going to get instant payout because again, you need to build a good reputation for your shows. So we're going to talk about reputation. So I'm just going to put the word rep here. And why is that so important, guys? Now, if you look at your reviews, you need to maintain it at a 4.8 or higher, okay? So our goal is to keep it at a 5.0, but minimum, guys, this is a minimum, okay? You know, it's okay a 4.8, okay? But our goal really is to hit that 5.0. Now, you're like, what do you mean my reputation, bestie? Yes, bestie. Your reputation is very important on whatnot because if you don't maintain that, that affects you from getting to your goal, which is 1K items sold, and that's going to lead into instant payout. Okay, so hopefully that's, we want to make sure we stay, up there. Now, what can affect your reviews? Okay, if you're shipping the wrong items, if you are uh, overcharging shipping, or maybe you're taking too long to ship items. Maybe someone got the item, they didn't like it. It broke. And now they're upset. And so that is going to affect your reviews. You may have started with the 5.0 because we all want to maintain that. But then again, stuff happened along the ways. You're flaky. And then when I mean flaky, I'm just saying like maybe you're just not consistent. You know what I mean? You're not consistent in making sure that your orders are nicely packed and the customers, having when they open it, they want it, surprise, And so not surprised, but they want to make sure their item comes, it doesn't have all these other issues. Anyways, that can happen with clothing too. Clothing, you showcase it, but maybe there's a flaw and they didn't see the flaw, or maybe you didn't see the flaw yourself, and now they're getting the item and then there's a flaw, and now that can affect the quality of your item. But shipping too also can bring it down. So make sure you guys ship on time. Now, we're going to talk about shipping right now, you guys. So I want you to create a line like this. And then I want you to create a line like that. Okay, so we're going to talk about shipping. You could also do a screenshot if it's, for whatever reason, you guys can't write it all down because maybe you're somewhere where you don't have pen and paper, but I want you to go ahead and draw your line. So again, for those of you who are coming in, we talked about the question of the day, which I have there. It looks like 2 people said they're D-stashers, and we have 5 people that said they're boss lady, boss person. And so we're going to talk about it's okay to be a D-stasher. You could be both. But I think that I'm trying to get you guys to be more in the boss category because, again, if you are successful here on Whatnot and you're making a lot of sales, again, you have to do your taxes at the end of the year like I do. And again, if depending on how much you made, you're going to want to have a lot of tax write-offs. And so a boss person is someone who's, keeping track of their stuff that they're buying. If they're buying things from like a swap meet or a flea market, those kind of things, no one's giving you a receipt, but you need to be writing down those prices as well too, guys. So be sure that you're tracking the things that you're selling. Even if it's something that you're selling from your closet, you should know the cost or somewhat of the cost of that item. Again, it's very important. All right, so we're going to talk about what is ground shipping. So we're going to put right here ground. And that's, we're going to put shipping. and that is through the USPS. And then we're going to talk about what is priority shipping, guys. Oops. All right, you guys going to write that down. Now, again, we're talking about the good. We're talking about the bad and the ugly. The good is, you guys, that you're taking that first step forward to becoming a seller. You're coming to the realization that, hey, I have a lot of stuff, an inventory, and I can just come on a couple of hours and sell. Yes, you guys do it. That's the good. You are the good. You are your personality, whatever you bring to the table, your show, whatever it is. That's the good, you guys. The bad is sometimes there are things that happen during your show that could throw you off, and you won't know it until the end of the show. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the bad things, and then we're going to talk about the ugly, because the ugly really has a lot to do with the shipping. That's really where the ugly comes in, you guys, because I've seen people lost anywhere from like $10 to over $200, $300 in shipping, guys. And that's ouch. Ugh. And when I hear these stories, you guys, I'm like, oh, I just like, bestie, why didn't you call me? I don't know. I get a lot of tears. I get a lot of frustration. I get a lot of regret, So again, I'm trying to save those people from the ugly. Really, you guys, at the end of the day, that is the only thing that shipping does. All right. So again, shipping, just going to put right here, shipping equals the ugly. Okay. Just so you guys know. Thank you, Alexis, for coming in. Hi, bestie. Ms. Gigi, welcome in. All right. So, we're going to talk about shipping. Now, shipping can vary on this side a little bit. Sometimes it depends on state to state. I'm gonna post an item. I'm gonna put something on the on here, and I want you guys to tell me what the shipping is. I'm gonna pin it. Now, one of the things that happens, you guys, is that the seller can't see the shipping, okay? But when you are running the item, the customers get to see the shipping. So I'm just going to start this item. I'm going to run it, and let me know what the shipping is. I mean, even if I don't run it, you guys can still see the shipping. So if you guys can do me a favor, we're going to do a little experiment. For those of you who are here, can you tell me what the shipping is? What is it that you see? All right, $4.74. And let me know what state you're in too. Let me know. Put the amount and then put the state that you're in as well. All right, so for Georgia and Tennessee, it looks like the shipping is $4.74. And then someone says that is it Montana, Whimsy? It's $4.55. And then, all right. And then we have another Whimsy is $4.74. And was it Pennsylvania, bestie? All right. So it looks like more or less you're going to pay closer to the $5. All right. So it looks like shipping is, we'll put it down over here, guys. We'll put it right here in the center. $4. And because it varies, I know sometimes for some people it's kind of a little bit lower or a little bit higher. I'm just going to put $4.50 for now. Okay, guys, but everybody is being charged something different. Okay, $4.50, $4.75, $74, $4.20, $4.33. Everybody and every state is going to be charged something different, but I'm just going to round it to the $4.50. Now, we know that the shipping is $9.21. Okay, guys, that is our shipping amount. Okay. Now, if you notice, you're probably like, well, why is this cheaper? Why is this less than this over here? Now, the reason why ground shipping is less is because it's the weight of your items. So, depending on what your items weigh, and same thing on this side, depending on how much your items weigh. Now, I sell trims, I sell appliques, I sell fabrics. And so everybody, whatever you're selling, you need to weigh those items. So I'm going to put the weights right here, okay, besties? So let's go ahead and we're going to put the weights at Whatnot has. They have it 0 to 1. Most of my trims, most of everything that I sell is I put at 0 to 1. Even if I have printables, like I have a lot of printables in the buy now, I usually put 0 to 1. Now you have your 1 to 3. You have your 4 to 7. You have your 8 to 11. And you have 12 through 15. All right. So again, this is considered your ground ship, your different weights. Now this is by ounces, guys. So I'm going to put the word ounces here. So write that down. This is based on ounces. Okay. And then on the other side, let's see how Whatnot has it, you guys, because I know I haven't. Want to make sure I'm precise with the shipping. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get the shipping, the actual shipping measurements for the priority. Now, I only have it set, and I'm going to show you how I have mine set. Whatnot already has it set for you, but a lot of people like to mess with the toggles, okay? And that's fine. If you want to mess with the toggles, go right ahead. But I don't recommend you mess with the toggles. Just leave them alone. And we're going to talk a little bit about flat rate shipping too, guys. So again, hang in there. We'll get to flat rate shipping as well. So let me get to my shipping profile here real quickly. Give me 1 second, guys. Where are you shipping? All right, shipping settings. No, but I want to make sure I'm accurate, you guys. Welcome in, everybody. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to look at the shipping settings real quickly. Thank you for rating, Bestie. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you coming in, we're doing a seller support and we're doing, we're not doing craft and chat, you guys, but we're doing a seller support. We're just kind of going through the shipping weights. All right. So Whatnot has it. They have it LBs, libras, which equals to 16 ounces, guys, okay? 1 pound equals to 16 ounces. I'm going to pause right here because I want to give a shout out to the rater, guys. And the rater is Tiffany2498. You guys, she has a 5.0 rating, 196 reviews, and 476 items sold, and 1 day shipping, you guys. And hold on, guys. Her next show is going to be on the 11th. And you guys, she's selling everything, DTFs and more. So thank you, Bestie, for coming in. She also has it on the 12th, and then she has other days listed. And then this is what her profile says. Come hang out. Let's be friends. All things DTFs and UV, DTFs, and so much more. Everything for your crafting dreams. Thank you again, Bestie, for rating into me. I do appreciate that. And then I think I have, hold on, guys. I don't know if it's a comment or a question. Let me see. I just told someone you sell the beaded pokey tools. I am not crazy. I've seen you selling them, right? I think it's the pokey tool for the glue bottle. I sell the glue bottle pokey tool, but it's not like the pokey tool that you use to poke like your like if you're putting your signatures. Although I will be working on making some, Bestie, so that's to come. All right. Thank you for for letting me know, and thank you again, Tiffany, for bringing your friends. All right, guys, let's get back to the shipping. All right, so let me make sure I have everything correct. So they have 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 to 15, and then it jumps over to the 1 pound, and then they have 1 through 2. They have 2 to 3. They have 3 to 4, 4 to 6, and so on. And then again, they have 7 to 9 and 10 to 14, and so on. Let me just write everything down. And these are pounds, you guys. 7 to 9, 10 through 14. I think the 10 to 14 is about $15. I think that's how much it is. All right. But anything that's up to this level, guys, well, technically up to 5 pounds. But if you see here, 4 to 6, I think that one's probably like around $11. And then you have 7 to 9, and I'm thinking that one's probably about either 12, or 12. We'll just say 12 to 13. Okay. Now here is where they're charging you the $9.21 up to the 5 pounds. Now you have to understand something. Whatnot, even if you have it from 1 to 2, they tend to go towards the 2. You know what I mean? So again, we're going to talk about this also, and how it could be I don't want to say it's a problem, but it could definitely be something that could be a problem for the customer. I mean, it could be a problem for you too, but we're going to talk about that right now. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put the camera a little bit higher so that you guys can see better. All right. So let's go ahead and go here. Put a little line there. Right now, we're not going to focus on this part. We're just focusing on these two. Now, I like to edit my shipping. So let's say somebody bought, I don't know, maybe just as like playing cards. This playing card may be like 1 to 3. Okay. And then let's say I sold, I don't know, like, we'll say these little bows. Maybe I had a whole bunch of little bows or something. So, let's say these 2 items, 4 to 7. So I will adjust it. I will edit it, because there's at the bottom it's edit, and you just click edit. And when you do the edit, anything that's 0 to 14, guys, you want to adjust it to the 15. Now, is it charging the customer more money when you do that? No, guys. It doesn't charge the customer, and it's not charging you any more money. All right. So anything that's 0 to 14, we're going to adjust it to the 15. Why is that important? Well, let's say you added the receipt and you added a little gift or something. That's going to add on to the weight. Okay. Again, even maybe you use the bubble wrap because you don't want it to break. The bubble wrap itself, it's going to cause the tape and the packaging is going to cause this item to go just a little tad, over the weight of maybe we have it at the 7, and it'll take it over to the 8 or the 9 or the 10, whatever it is. So again, you want to adjust your labels. I do that, guys. Everybody do you, but just to cushion, making sure that it doesn't create a problem, because I have heard and noticed things happening to the customers once they receive the item. And we'll talk about that too right now. All right. Now, that's, again, if you have items, again, that are small within this category. Now, and this is considered ground shipping. Let's talk about what kind of packaging we can use for ground shipping. So for your ground shipping, you may have to purchase poly mailers. Again, you're going to have to get your own packing. Might cost, a bit of money. So again, take into consideration the cost, how you're going to run your items, and think of like, okay, what is going to be my cost for packing it? Okay. Now you could recycle, I'm going to put the word recycle your own packages, recycle packaging. All right. You could do that as well. That may work. All right. But over here on this side, which is your USPS priority shipping, you could, get those for free. And so I'm going to put right here, you can get, free packing materials. Okay. The only thing that won't be free is going to be your tape, obviously. So, you're going to have to you can order that through the USPS, create an account, and you can just order whatever packing you want. Now with this here, now remember I said that this is 1 pound. When you see it on the app, it's going to be 1 libra, but again, just think of it as in pounds. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. And I'm going to talk to you guys in ounces. Yes, these are all pounds here, but the reason why I'm going to talk in ounces is because 5 pounds, 5 pounds equals 80 ounces. Okay. And it does give it to you where you can switch it directly from pounds, and you can switch it from ounces, stuff like that. But 5 pounds equals 80 ounces. And so why is that important? Well, because anything that weighs 16 through 79, we want to adjust it over to the 80 ounces, or which is considered 5 pounds. Sometimes they have it set like that. They have it set more like in ounces. So hopefully, that'll kind of make sense when you're editing your labels. Now, Whatnot gives you 5 free adjustments already. You're already going to get 5 free adjustments. I'm going to put that right here. 5 free adjustments, okay? And so this is very important to know. Why is this important to know? Because if you make a mistake in your shipping, you could always use one of your free adjustments. Now, Whatnot operates, you guys, from Sunday through Saturday. Okay, this is your start date of the week. All right. So if you guys need to do a screenshot, you're welcome to do a screenshot. Again, I do have a little poll there going. If you guys can go and let us know what kind of seller you are. All right. So I'm just going to do a quick little recap just for those of you who just came in. The question on top, it says if you're a D-stasher or your boss person, boss lady. And so I'm trying to get you to be more of a boss person, okay, or boss lady, whatever you want to call it. Most of the people that are on here are some of the ladies, so I put lady. But if you're a man, then you're a boss man, whatever. If for those of you coming in, we are talking about what is the good, what is the bad, and the ugly. You are the good. You bring in the good in the goods too, and the materials, the stuff that you're selling into the show. The bad thing is that sometimes there are crucial mistakes that are being made, or there are people convincing you to do things in your show that can turn out bad for you and eventually turn into the ugly. Okay. And what is the ugly? The ugly is the shipping, guys. That's really the ugly here on Whatnot. We're talking about what is our goal. If you're a new person coming in, your goal is to hit 1K items sold. And why is that important? Because we need instant payout. Once you hit your 1,000 items, Whatnot will automatically put you in instant payout. That means when you print your orders, like once you print your labels, they'll pay you out right away. Right now, if you're a new seller and you have to wait until you hit this goal in order to get paid right away. Currently, new sellers have to wait until the item arrives to the customer and then you get paid out. Okay, so that may take a couple of days. But don't get discouraged. Our goal is to hit 1K. So sometimes people will create a thumbnail that says on the road to 1K or help me get to 1K sales and stuff like that. So that's a good way to advertise that your goal is 1K items sold. Now we talked about reputation. We talked about that you need to maintain a 4.8 and higher. Our goal is to try to keep it at a 5.0 as much as possible. But again, making sure that our reviews don't look ugly or sound ugly or, oh, she's a scammer or she never shipped my items right. She sent me the wrong items. People will say ugly and nasty things in your reviews. And so we want to avoid that as much as possible if you're trying to become a seller for a long time. I've been on the app for almost 3 years now. So guys, try to maintain that reputation. And so we're also talking about what is ground and how much they're charging people in ground. I just asked people this listing. I asked people what the shipping looks like for you. So if you guys are new here, go ahead and put down the shipping cost and let me know what state you're in. And that's very important to know. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you're selling, you don't see the shipping for the customer. Only the customer sees the shipping. You don't. You don't know what they're getting charged for shipping. Now, if that's only if it's in the ground, okay? Now, if you're selling everything that's, heavy items and you put that the shipping is going to be, over a pound, then yeah, they're charging them $9.21. But over here, you don't know. And the customer will ask you questions sometimes about shipping. Oh, is shipping for the entire show or something? Like, tell me about the shipping. So you're going to have to be able to answer that question. And you're going to say, well, Whatnot is charging you, anywhere like under $5. That's like half of the $9.41. They're charging you half of it up to the 15 ounces. Okay. After that, if you keep buying, it'll go over to the next category, which is your USPS ground. And they're going to charge you the remainder of the $5, which is $4.21. They're going to charge you the remainder of that. And so then, after that, you unlock free shipping. It's going to unlock free shipping here too, guys. You may not see it, but the customer does see that, oh, let's say they bought a small item. It'll say you unlock free shipping. And then it'll go, and then it'll charge them again. And then sometimes the customer is like, hey, wait a minute, it's charging me again. Yeah, it's charging you the remainder of the $9.21 because now you're going into your items are getting, not that they're heavier, it's just that your order is getting heavier because you're buying more stuff. And so now it's going over to the $9.21. So it's important to be able to relate to the customer how the shipping works. And then you can tell them, hey, the shipping is $9.21 up to 5 pounds. Now you can set your toggles however you like. You can set your, I'll show you how I have mine set right now real quickly, guys. Let me get into my Whatnot account so that you guys can see that. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get back. All right, into shipping. And in order for you to find shipping, let me just show you quickly how to find your shipping. So here is my seller hub. This is my seller hub. This is what I see as a seller. It is showing your today's task, things that are ready to ship. It's very important to keep track of that because this is telling you like all the items you need to ship. It'll also tell you in red if you have any outstanding orders. Okay. That means that you have items that are over the 2-day limit that they give you to ship your items. And we're going to talk a little bit about that too. We're going to talk about what that is. Any offers? I have an offer, but I can't find the item right now, so I have not accepted the offer. So anytime you have offers, it'll show up here. These are your upcoming shows. These are, you click here and it tells you like, all the upcoming shows. Now, it also tells you your past shows. I'm going to put something here to cover it real quickly, guys. I'm going to put it right here. So it's going to show you your past shows. Oops, sorry, guys. Hold on. And the reason why I'm going to cover it because it also shows how much you made for that show. So I'm just going to put this right here real quickly, and I'm going to go to past shows. Let me look at this real quickly. All right. So it's going to show you your past shows, and it's going to show you all your past shows. So these are all my past shows. But in every one of your past shows, it tells you how much money you made. And that is the part that I'm not going to show you because, again, that's a private stuff, you guys. But you can go back and watch all your past shows if you like. Okay. And this is where also, like, if you're whatever you're selling, let's say you don't remember like something, this is where you're going to go, or the video receipt. You can go here and watch your entire show or go directly into the video receipt of the items that you sold, and it'll take you to the moment where the customer bought the item. Okay. So again, fortunately, I can't show you this part because OneNote has it set up where it's showing you how much you made per of your past shows. It tells you the amount. And everybody used to do that, but OneNote's always updating and improving all the time. All right, guys. So I'm going to get out of that part. Now, they also have it to where it's showing you, again, your upcoming shows and your past shows are here. And then right here is your account health. I'm going to click on it so you guys can see. It doesn't show any anything there. Let me look real quickly because OneNote has made some updates. All right, it's good. So here is where you need your seller performance. It's going to tell you, how you're doing. Now, this one here, 97.7 means you're shipping. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I got really scared because it went down to like an 82. And so that means that I was delayed in shipping certain items. And that's because I make handmade items. So if people buy kits, people buy handmade items, those are the ones that kind of keep me delayed a little bit. So, but I caught up, you guys. I'm at 97.7 on time scan shipping. Okay, guys. And not only that, the post office is around closest to my house, you guys, sucks. It sucks big time. They just remodeled it. And yesterday and a couple of days ago, I went in there like fussing, guys. I was ready there to fight, Anyways, but not really, guys. No fighting, but fighting with my words. So they have a tendency of they're taking a long time to scan items. So when they take a long time to scan items, it does affect your on-time scan, okay? And this right here is dependent if you're going to get your wings because there is something that OneNote offers, and that is for those people who are doing on-time shipping. They give you those little golden wings. That means, I forgot what it's called, guys, but if you know, put it on the chat. That is going to give you your golden wings. Anyways, and also you have to sell a certain amount as well. You have to be a big time seller. And so that's going to help. And now this here, 99.9, that means it says defect free order rates. This kind of has to do with your cancellations. So if you're doing a lot of cancellations because again, here and there, I do have to cancel during the live. Or let's say customer messages me and a problem happened and that they can't get the items. Technically, once a customer bids on items, you don't have to cancel those orders. You have to say, sorry, this is whatnot policy that you have to bid responsibly. But some people come in and they're brand new and they don't know any better. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I would prefer to cancel an order than to get a bad review. I prefer to cancel an order than to have that problem, especially if you're a new seller. Um, does that affect you? Yeah, it's going to affect you, but not to the point where it's going to kick you out of the app, whatever. It may only be one person. It might be one order. Get me? So, it's up to you. It's really up to you. Again, if you're a new seller, sometimes people accidentally bid on stuff. They're asleep. They're over there snoring away, and they accidentally touch the purchase the item, and you're like, oh, you got an order, and then they'll message you whatever, and they're like, oh, it was an accidental purchase, whatever. So it's up to you. You can cancel that if you like, but technically you don't have to cancel any orders unless you made a mistake. Maybe you were on the live, you ran it for the wrong price, or you ran it for the wrong weight. I definitely recommend that while you're on the live, cancel that order. You can cancel order. And I'm going to tell you some couple of stories of people that have called me crying and things have happened because of the shipping. Okay. Again, let's try to avoid negative reviews. Okay. So as you guys can see, it says right here, nice work. Your account is in good health. Okay. So I'm in good health right now. Sometimes it'll say excellent, says policy standing, excellent. So we want to maintain this as much as possible, you guys. Yes, Whatnot requires you to ship things within the 2 days, but you have a max of 4 days. But let's not get to the 4 days, you guys. Let's get those orders shipped right away. Okay. Depending, you can also tell the customer your order may be delayed because maybe you're doing like a specialty custom order for them. And so that, may take a little bit longer. And so that's not a reason for them to complain. You know what I mean? Anyways, now getting back to this, it's telling me right here, my count health 99.7, and it says 99.9 and excellent. Now I'm not going to show you this part, but it says payout and orders. Okay. For orders, it's going to give you a list of all the items that were sold, and your payout is going to tell you how much you're made from the. I take my money out every 2 weeks, you guys. I remove money out of my payout every 2 weeks. Um, so I have like a quarter. So in the first 15 days, whatever I sell, then I'll take the money out. And then again, for the last ending of the month, I'll take the money out. You could do it on a daily basis. It's up to you. Now, I do want to talk about when you're pulling your money out. I do want to say that you may use like a PayPal's, or you may be using, they have something called Stripe. You can download it and put it into your account. And why not use your PayPal's? You could use your PayPal's, you guys, but let's say you sell on different platforms. Let's say you're selling on Facebook, you're selling on eBay, you're selling on McCurry, you're selling on what else? You guys help me here. Amazon, you're selling, I don't know, wherever you're selling, guys, I don't care. Offer up. If you have all that money going into your PayPal's, but you are having a good, successful show on Whatnot any type of marketplace, Etsy, whatever it is, you guys. Now, I want you to just be with me in the moment, guys. Imagine that you made, I don't know, maybe a good $5,000 on your other platforms, and they were all going into PayPal's, okay? And then on Whatnot, your first year you made, 20,000, because I think for this year, if you make over $20,000, you're gonna have to report that to you're gonna have to report it, guys, to taxes, your tax person, or when you're doing your income tax. Now, if you're putting all the money into your PayPals, which I did this last year when I did my taxes, you guys, I had everything going into one singular place. The money that I made in the other platforms also showed up in my PayPals. Get me? And I made a significant amount on Whatnot. And so I have to report all those. But if I have different platforms and I'm not making over 20,000 in those platforms, then I'm not gonna put my Whatnot money into my PayPals. I'm gonna create a separate account, which Whatnot offers. So again, if you guys can download Stripe, whether you want to do it this year or next year, maybe you already put everything in your PayPals already, and all that, it went over 20. Now you have 5,000 from selling on the other platforms plus the 20,000 that you sold on Whatnot. So now you're going to have to show $25,000 because they're going to send you 1090. Is it 1099, you guys? I think it's a 1099. They're going to send you with the whole 25,000, guys, instead of the 20,000. That is a minimum. So I definitely recommend that you open a Stripe account and just have the money from Whatnot going into that account. I'm just saying this. You don't have to follow my advice, you guys. This is what I decided to do because I sell on Poshmark. I sell on other platforms, and if I didn't make over 20,000 those platforms, I'm not gonna have to report those. Get me? So they're not gonna give me a 1099. Is what I'm saying. You're gonna get a 1099 from PayPal or any other account that you're using. Get me? So think about that, you guys. I'm just trying to give you some free advice. You don't have to take it totally free. My way may not be the right way, but that is how my thinking is. Okay, you guys. Now, so right here, it's going to be your payouts and your orders. There is a way for you to check your analysis. I'm not going to do my analysis, guys, because my account is just going to show you all the money that I made for like the last couple of weeks. But I want you guys to also check on a regular basis your seller status. Go ahead and go into your, hold on. Is it seller? No, seller analysis. Go into your seller analysis and it's going to tell you how much you made for the entire year. You can go back and have it because it has a calendar. And you can click on the calendar if you want it just for that month or the month before or the entire year. Okay, that's where you go into your seller analysis. So definitely, go ahead and tap into that and kind of see how it is. Now, also, I want you to do two things. Now, for Whatnot, let's say, for example, you made let's say you made $50,000 on Whatnot in your first year. You made $50,000. But Whatnot also takes a fee. Remember, Whatnot takes that 8%. They're going to take that 2.9% and the processing fee. That is not going to show up in your 1099. It's not going to show up there, guys. The only thing that's going to show out is what was paid out to you. Okay, that's the only thing that's going to show when you get your tax form. Okay, and so, but you can see it also when you're in your analysis. Try to click at the bottom. They have a little side section where it says, you click on it. It'll tell you how much you made for the entire year. You can check to see how much you made for the entire year. The actual amount after Whatnot took the deductions, but it also shows you the amount with the deductions. Okay, so let's say you made, like I said, 50,000, but at the end you made 40,000 because 10,000 of it went to Whatnot's fees. Get me? So the 40,000 is what's going to be on your should be on your 1099. Anyways, just food for thought, so that you guys know, like, wait a minute, I make all this money, but then Whatnot took their fee. So getting back to this, you guys, again, your ground shipping, it's going to be less. And then once the customer buys more items, then they're going to max out at $921. Do they max out at $921? Technically, no. So if the customer is still buying and buying from you, it's gonna she could pay $9.21, or if she's it's going over the 4 to 6, she might be paying like maybe $11. 7 to 9 might be $12, $13. I believe 10 to 14 is about $15. I could be wrong, but I've sold something that was kind of heavy, and so it was around the 10 to 14, and I remember that the person wound up paying like $15 and 15 something. It could, I mean, the prices change, you guys. I don't know. That was maybe about a year ago. So again, the prices of shipping always fluctuates, throughout the years. Anyway, so again, hopefully you guys did a screenshot of that. Give me some hearts and let me know if you guys like this information. Tap the screen, but give me some hearts in the chat. All right, guys. And then for those of you who are coming in, thank you again for coming in. And if you want to watch this entire, if you guys want to watch this entire show, also I have some show notes here. If you guys click on the show notes, you'll see some of the common questions that I normally get, and if there's something there, a particular number, or if there's just something that you could put it in the chat as well too. Or if you have a question about something that's not in the show notes, let me know, because again, there might be other things. I was trying to figure out like all the questions that people ask me, like all the different things that I help people with. And so if there's a burning question you have, please put it in the chat, you guys. All right, so I'm just gonna go up. It's off? No, it's on. The show notes, post. All right, it's right there. Do you see it there? I think I tapped on it and I may have done something, but go to the show notes, you guys. Do you see it? Let me know. All right, guys, let me go back and just check to see if there was any questions. You want the little playing cards? Oh my goodness. Again, thank you for the raid. And thank you everybody for coming in. All right, let me go back up. I'm just checking the chat just to make sure that I have. Sadie says, "Hello, I've dropped my phone and bid." Oh, it happens. Yes, Sadie, it does happen. And Tani said, "Yes, maybe we sell on a marketplace or something. You're gonna have to report that money." Is it showing the show notes, Whimsy? Let me look at it again. Unpost? No, it is posted. Yes? Okay, good. All right, maybe, because you know what? I tapped on it to read it. And when I tapped on it to read it, I think I don't know, I may have clicked post something, and so wasn't showing it. Okay, so again, look at the show notes, and if there's something there that you guys have a burning question, let me know. Also, make sure you guys, if you guys can do and share this live with your other friends, so that we're going to get to the second part in case there's something there that they need to learn. So if you guys want to share, go ahead and share and get your friends in here, because this part is going to be very important. All right. Now, we're going to talk about some things that are very difficult. Thank you, guys. Thank you, bestie. That's very sweet of you. Thank you for the tip. Now, I'm going to do some story time while I'm doing the second part of it. So if you guys, again, do your screenshots now, and go ahead and screenshot everything that I have here. So again, this part right here is just if it goes over the 921, because we want to focus within the 5 pounds. Jelly, welcome in. All right, again, the question up here, you guys, question of the day, are you a destasher or a boss lady, boss person? My goal is to get you to become a boss person, guys. That's really where my goal is. Thank you, Bestie, for coming in. Let's go on this side. We're going to create like a little scenario of maybe a customer's order. And so let me put the camera down so that you guys can see it. Now, let's pretend this is like a very precious glass item. Now, this right here says it weighs about 16 16.9. We're going to say that this weighs 16.9 ounces. We're going to say it's like 1 pound. Okay. Now, I'm going to put something here. Let me put a little line. Oops, there. And we're going to talk about, again, the shipping costs will vary depending on the weight of the items, okay? But we're going to say that, the person pay the $9.21, like I said, equals 80 ounces or 5 pounds. But sometimes, like I said, this is where the mistakes come in, you guys. So I want you guys to be with me in the moment. I want you guys to really focus in on this scenario, okay? But let me get something to drink real quickly so that I can get my voice activated again. Like I said, we're going to pretend that this is a glass item, okay? Very nice glass item. Maybe it's a specific brand. Someone bid it up on this item. They really wanted it. So we're going to put a box right here that says, we're going to say glass item. Maybe you have a description. I don't know. Then the person bought this, very expensive glue bottle, tacky glue, because that's their favorite brand and only you carry it. And so we're going to add that on here too. Glue bottle. Now this one says it's about 3 ounces. And this one here says we're gonna round it up to we'll just put 16 ounces, which is equals to 1 pound. All right, let me find some other items. Okay, let's do the buttons. We're gonna pretend that we also sold some buttons. All right, these are fancy buttons. I actually have another button set here that's a little heavier, okay? Maybe they bought both the button sets. So we're gonna say 2 button bags. And, well, I don't have my scale right here, but let's say that this is weighing, we'll say it weighs 16 ounces, okay? Equals 1 pound. All right, let me find something else. So we have the buttons, we have the water bottle, well, the glass item, pretending it's an item. And then we have the glue bottle here. I know you guys can't see, you can see it a little bit. Let me see. Oh, and then they bought a phone from you, and the phone comes in a really big box. So they also got a phone, and we're just going to say, for example, phone. So let's go ahead and add that in. They're going to get a phone. And it comes in a nice big box. And that phone is probably going to be another, we're going to say 2 pounds. And then we're going to add, so we have 2, 3, 4. Then we have a couple of ounces. One of these. They wanted a collectible bottle of these little Christmas decorative pieces. So that is it's glass. It's pretty heavy. So we're going to add that. So let's go ahead and add a collectible bottle. I'm not even going to write it right. Bottle. Okay, guys. And we're going to say we have here 2, 3, 4. We're going to say this collectible weighs another 2 pounds. All right. It's going to weigh another 2 pounds. So I'm just going to put these to the side. All right. So are we good? Can you guys see this really okay? Let me know. I'm just going to move these items because I want to move the paper a little bit higher. All right, for those of you coming in, we're doing seller support. If you were not here earlier and you missed the beginning part of it, you can make a purchase right over here and you can watch this entire show through the video receipt, okay? All right. All right, we're giving you a little scenario of a purchase a customer made. All right. So the customer order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. This one here is double. So there's 2 and 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 items. Okay, so this is like number of items. And from those 5 items, let's put a cost to it. All right, for the glass item, we sold the glass item for like, I don't know, we were trying to, you know, let's see, maybe it was like a really expensive brand. We're gonna say $15. Okay, this glass item was $15. The glue bottle, we're gonna say another $3. We're gonna say the button screws, we're gonna say $10. 10. And then we're going to say the phone was probably $40. And the collectible bottles, we're going to say it was maybe $5. Okay. So let's go ahead and calculate everything here. 40, 50, 60, 73. Let me know if that's not correct, you guys. So our total was about $73. Okay. But are we going to make those $73? Do you guys think, put it in the chat, that you're going to take those $73? Is Whatnot going to give you those $73? Yay or nay, people, or I'm leaving. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, you guys. Is that a yes or no? Do you think Whatnot's going to give you that whole $73? So Monkey said, nay. And Alexa says she wishes, but the answer is no, correct. You're not going to take those $73 because guess what? Whatnot's going to take their fee too. Now, do we know how much the fee is? I'm going to put right here, Whatnot fee. Now, Whatnot is going to charge you an 8% times 5 because you sold each item individually. And then they're going to charge you 2.9 times 5 because remember, they charge it per item. And they're also going to take 30 cents, 0.30 cents times 5. They're going to take it off each item. Okay, I'm not going to do the math here. You guys can figure that on your own, okay? But just know from the 73, we're going to round it up to a certain amount. We're going to say they took $13 and you're probably going to make a good $60, okay, guys? That is going to be your take home. But if you guys are good mathematicians, put it in the chat. But I'm not, guys. That's on you. Take home. All right. So our take home was about $60. All right. Just for an example. Now, each of these items, if I wanted to split them all up, I can split all these items and create an individual label for each one. This is called unbundle. So I'm going to write it right here. If I really wanted to separate everything, so if you want to separate the items, it's called unbundle. All right. You guys can unbundle. Bundle or unbundle. Let's say they were separate and you want to keep them together. Then you want to bundle your items, okay? Now I'm going to talk about the 2 kind of shows that you can have. I mean, maybe there's multiple ways of having a show, guys, but we're going to talk about the 2 types of shows that I've seen, okay? The first can be an auction. And the second can be a bundle show. Let's not confuse it with this unbundling over here, guys. Let's not confuse it with when you're going to do your orders. So you could either have auction or a bundle show. Now, some people, that either one works for them. I prefer an auction. I prefer to run each item and boom, I run it and that's that. Now, a bundle show is when people come to your show and maybe you already have it set up casually. You have it set up that way that people, you're going to show an item. All right, you guys, I have tacky glue bottles. I have 5 of them. Who needs a tacky glue bottle? And then people will say, me, or B for bundle. And so, okay, so I'm going to say Alexis, Summer, Lori, Sadie, and then Monkey. Okay, you guys said me. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 glue bottle in your box. So they may have boxes or trays or whatever. They're going to be $3 each, okay? So whoever said me is going to get their bottle, okay? Now, again, you put that in their boxes. And then someone would say something like, all right, you guys, I have about 6 of the playing cards. All right, who here wants a playing card? And then again, people will say me. And thank you, Bestie, for the hearts. They'll say me. And guess what? You go and you put them in that person's order. And then, or maybe you have the buttons. Okay, guys, I got these buttons and a scoop. Who's gonna want these? We're gonna have these for like $5 each. And then the person says me. All right. So this is considered a bundle show. Okay, that means that you are trying to, put these orders together to create one shipping. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a story time. I said it many times before, but I'm going to repeat it again because this is very important. I had a new person selling. This was her second show. Now, her first show, she had she was selling fabrics, and she heard this from somebody in the show, like, hey, do you bundle items? Somebody had asked her that. Oh, what do you mean by that? And they're like, yeah, that's when if somebody claims it, they claim it and you put it aside for them. And then they'll take it, whatever, for that price. And she was like, oh, yeah, I could do that too. I can do a bundle show. All right. So she started to bundle items. Now, you have to be careful with bundle shows because you also need to weigh. Let's say you have a listing, you added a couple listings. Again, you didn't know any better because it's your first show. Okay, you don't know any better, and you didn't have listings based on weight. You had listings based on, I don't know, just random, random weights. And so these people are telling you to do that, and you're so excited that people want your stuff. You're so excited. Again, remember when I talked to you guys about in the show notes? Have you guys read the show notes? I talked about your emotions, your frustrations and stuff like that, how to regulate that. You definitely need to regulate your emotions, especially in your first shows. You have to be very cautious because, again, we get excited. We're happy somebody wants something, but at the same token, they're telling you a different style and you accept it and you go ahead and do it and you packed everything. But you don't know any better because you don't know about this that I just talked about. You don't know about this part. Okay. You're just saying, God, I could just, put any weight and then, send it to the person that way. And then you don't see the consequences until after the show. Okay. You don't see the problem until after the show. So this person, again, very sweet person. I consider her being a nice, good seller. Anyway, she didn't know any better. And in her first show, she wound up paying over $125 in shipping. So again, she didn't weigh her items. She did a bundle show and she wound up paying out of pocket. Now, remember I asked you the question right here at the very top. I asked you, what are you, a de-stasher or a boss person, boss lady? Now, if you're okay with giving away your stuff for free, because if you have to pay for shipping, you are giving stuff away for free. And that is someone who, again, not necessarily a destasher, but again, I'm just going to categorize them in that, you know, title. You're just a destasher. You're just trying to get rid of stuff. Hey, it's okay. But that's where the mistake comes. Now, I wasn't there in her first show. I didn't hear about this information until I bought some things from her in her second show. Now, her second show, she thought, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I'll do a flat rate shipping and I'm just going to put 6 ounces because, again, I don't know any better. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm just going to put it out and I'm just going to have a show and boom, run it that way. Unbeknownst to us, we didn't realize that by the end of the show, we were going to get charged double the shipping. So she was doing another little bundle show where like, okay, I have so many little flowers. The flowers were cute, and she said, I have 3 of this color, and I can make about 5 sets. Kind of like what I told you, like the little playing card. I have 6 of these. Who wants them? People were saying, me, 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 me. And so, again, she put them in their little bags and stuff like that. Now, you have to understand something. Fabric weighs a little bit more than little small items like lightweight, like little flowers. Now, the fabrics that she was selling in the first show, she was selling the entire, like the whatever it is. It could have been a yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. Okay, it could have been yardage, and then so she learned from that, and then she thought this time, oh, if I do a flat rate shipping and put this ounce, maybe I won't have to pay the money. Now, you guys have to understand something, that at the end of the show, when the show ended, or right before the show ended, sorry guys, someone had went into their order and was like, hey, you overcharged me in shipping. And they were like, oh, I did. Oh, I could probably fix that. And she thought, she can fix it after the show. And then somebody else said, hey, wait a minute, you also overcharged me in shipping. Oh, I did. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm still new on whatnot, and I'll look into it. And you guys, I was also in that same show, and I did do a me thing. But then she ran a couple of items. Now she ran some flowers because there was only 1 set of the black and 1 set of the red. And so she was like, just in all fairness, it looks like 4 people want it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and run it. And so she ran it, and people were bidding up for the red and people were bidding up for the black. Now, I want you to think of this, you guys. Do you think that if she would have just ran each of those flowers, do you think that she would have made more if she just ran it as an auction? Or do you think she lost money? You guys put it in the chat. This is a question for you guys here to think about. Do you think she could have made more if she ran it as an auction? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Because remember, Whatnot's also taking a fee. Whatnot's also taking a fee. And you had a lot of interest. She had a good, maybe a good 12 people in there. And everybody wanted flowers. Everybody had an interest in them. Thank you for your purchase, bestie. Let's think of that. Probably more, Alexis. Yeah, I think she could have made a little bit more because those flowers were a hot commodity in that show during that time. Even I wanted the flowers. Now she was selling them for $1, like a bundle. I don't think they were like a bundle of like 5 or 6. I forget. But think of this scenario, guys. After, she said, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll close out my show. I'll figure it out. Do you think that you have the power to adjust the shipping cost after your show? Yes or no, guys? Put it in the chat. Do you think you have the power, or the Whatnot give you the secret code to go in and fix all the shipping costs, adjust it? Okay, I charge her $10, but I can go back and charge ability. Do you think that you got something that I don't have? Do you guys think you have it? The answer is no. Your answer is going to be no, guys. It's impossible for you after your show to fix this problem. I actually got a message from one of my besties, a new person that I was helping. She sent me this message because she was having a glitch. She was having a glitch. The um she had a glitch and her show ended, and then she came back on, and then the customer said, are you going to charge us shipping again? And she's like, oh, I could probably adjust it after. This is someone who, again, I'm not saying names, guys. I'm not going to say names. I'm just telling you guys the story. Okay, I'm telling you guys a story. Now, you guys, a couple of things happened in that show. Hey, welcome in, you guys. Welcome in. You guys, Stay Home is in the house. He's a he-man, you guys. Yes. All right, let me go back because I thought I saw a question. I could be wrong. After auction allows claim it, any left maybe? No, guys. The answer is going to be no. I don't care if it's during the auction. I don't care if it's after the auction. Once you ran the item and you ran it for the wrong weight, that's it. You're done. Game over. You're going to either overcharge the customer or you're going to undercharge the customer and you're going to take the cost. I had someone come into my show, you guys, and I love her to death. And again, she's one of my buyers. And I encourage everybody to have their first shows. I try to do my best to help people. I try to save people from making mistakes. Sometimes I go into new shows and I'll just be in there like just to make sure that they're okay. Sometimes I don't catch every new show. Sometimes people don't even know who I am, but they know somebody in that show knows who I am. And that's what happened in this situation. When I left the show, someone else that was in there who knew what was happening had said, go to plus size gals. Everybody always says, go to plus size gals, go to plus size gals. I will give you the answer to this problem, guys. Now, some people can message Whatnot. I actually heard something on TikTok. I have followed this one lady. She's adorable, guys. She's brand new to Whatnot too. And she talks about her mistakes and, she's going to keep pushing. She's going to keep pushing. She said she messaged Whatnot and Whatnot supposedly responded to her, was going to fix the shipping. And maybe they will fix the shipping. Maybe you can reach out to them and they could adjust the labels. You could do that. You could reach out to Whatnot, say, hey, I overcharged this customer. Can you fix this problem? You could do that. Now, how long will Whatnot take to get back to you is another. They usually do pretty good. They try to respond like within the same day or the next day. Whatnot wasn't as good in the past. They would take 3 days or they would take a very long time. So Whatnot started to create a bot. They have a bot. So the bot is taking in this information and they're going to give you a response. And if it doesn't work out, the response, they'll tell you, do you want to create a ticket? And that's when you're going to say, yes, create the freaking ticket because I need a resolution, And so Whatnot will send you an email directly to your email, not to your not a message into the app, but outside of the app, which is directly to your email, and saying, hey, I see that you have this problem. They're just going to retell you what you already said in a different way, maybe a little bit. And so then, and they'll get back to you. And then again, it might take a couple of maybe that day or the next day. It could take 3 days. I don't know. The only thing that I was able to tell her in that moment, I said, look, bestie. The show ended already. You cannot adjust the labels, but I will tell you that you can reach out to those customers who are overcharged in shipping and say, hey, you guys, I am new to the show. I saw that I made a mistake with the shipping. I have put flat rate shipping, 6 ounces. And so some of you were overcharged. Instead of being charged the $9.21, you were charged $21. We were charged $22, guys, 21 and something and some change. And so I was like, ooh, girl, overcharge us, And so I told her, like, the only way that you're going to fix this problem is by canceling the orders. You're going to have to cancel the order. But before you do that, before you guys cancel any orders, now it can affect you, but I prefer to cancel the order than to ship the item. And again, have a problem after that. Remember, I told you guys, what are we supposed to maintain, you guys? What do we have to? What is our goal? What is our goal? What do we want to do? What did I say this meant right here, guys? What did this mean? Let me know in the chat. Again, this is for you guys, not for me. I don't. I already know the answer, but I want to know if you guys understand the answer. You have the power of Grayskull. True has a special request. One time, courtesy, sometimes whatnot will refund and overcharge, but it requires a personal review. Yes, I've done it twice in 2 years selling. You can't do it after every show. The buyer agrees to pay the shipping price quotes when they swipe the bid buy now button. Yes, yes, yes. But there's a but to that, you guys. Yes. So Diane, we need to maintain and our reputation on whatnot. Because if people are giving you a 1, and that was 4 people that's going to give you a 1, get me? Like, they're going to give you a 1 after they get their items. Oh, overcharge me shipping. They're going to write every negative thing. And that's going to affect you from getting your goal. Yes, you're going to learn from that for experience. And maybe you could maintain your 5.0. But if a lot of people see bad reviews, how do you think other customers will think of you? What would they think of you? If new customers are coming in and those 4 people, you didn't resolve their issue, you think that you're going to get a 5 or even a 4.8? Probably not. Do you think other people are going to want to buy? Are you going to become a reliable seller? I'm going to tell you guys right now, one of the things is to avoid that problem. I would prefer to cancel the order. I wouldn't even reach out to Whatnot. Try to resolve it on your own, guys, because Whatnot, they will also charge you if they have to fix the label. They're going to have to adjust it. I recommend, this is my recommendation, guys. You do not have to follow my recommendation. I do not work for Whatnot. I'm just telling you guys what's worked for me and what I've done. And again, to resolve if there's a problem. And one of the things is I make sure I don't have these type of problems. So again, I'm trying to share that information with you guys, is to just reach out to the customer. Hey, I apologize. I'm new here. I'm going to make this right. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the order. I'm going to put the total price and I'm going to put the correct shipping amount, and I'm going to send you a link. In that link, you're going to see all the items that you bought. I'm going to take a photo of it and send it to the customer. Cancel the orders. Cancel the orders, guys. Again, cancellation is not going to stop you from selling on Whatnot. It may bring your percentage, like your, remember I told you guys I have like a 99.6. I would prefer to cancel those orders. Or I can ask if the customer wants to cancel orders. Hey, that's on. I tell people, they're like, I accidentally bought this. Go ahead and put a cancel. You know what I mean? They're going to cancel. And I'll accept it after the show, whatever it is. But again, our goal is not to make these mistakes. And that's why I'm teaching you guys about the shipping and how they work before you guys start a show. All right. So that's what she did. I told her, before you cancel the order, I want you to do a screenshot of the entire order. Write down, if you have to, how much this person paid for this item, this item, this item, and this item. And then calculate it all together and create one bundle. And then make sure that it's $9.21. Send them the link, cancel the order. Whatnot will take care of the cancellation. It'll take a couple of days, but they will cancel it. And now the customer is going to buy the order again. And now instead of paying the double, which we paid $21, now we're only paying the $9.21. And I told her, weigh your items. And never, ever, besties, but again, If you are okay with flat rate shipping, go right ahead and use flat rate shipping. But I do not recommend creating a shipping profile. I do not recommend that, and I do not recommend using flat rate shipping. Now we're gonna try to finish up with this scenario right here, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this scenario. Now, if you remember over here, I told you that if the item goes from 4 to 6, they might charge $11, 7 to 9, like 12 to 13, 10 to 14, maybe about $15. Now, the reason why I want you to stay on the priority shipping is because your customer will get more for their money and pay less in shipping. Get me? So even if they go beyond the 5 pounds, again, 3 to 4, I don't know, Whatnot has it weird. If you hit the 3 to 4, again, it's under 5 pounds. They should have one that just says 5 pounds, but if they don't, this is how they have it set up. 4 to 6, that's already going over the 5 pounds. So that's going to be charged a little tiny bit more. Okay. And again, so on and so on. Now, again, you could do flat rate shipping if you know how to use it. People like it, especially if you sell clothing, big items. So I'm going to put right here flat rate shipping. And I'm just going to put a little X over it because I want you, if as much as possible, unless you're going to do like some people do to fill a bag or like a fill a box, they'll fill a box under and to make sure they're under 5 pounds. They'll fill a box and then they'll say, okay, guys, going to get a whole bunch of stuff, like a mystery box. A lot of people do these like mystery boxes, and that's fine. And you could do a mystery box if you want to do flat rate shipping. But I'm going to tell you guys another story time about this flat rate shipping. Okay, guys? I'm going to tell you another story time. All right? So hang in there. We're going to get there. All right. So anytime you do a bundle show and you're bundling all the items into one, you lock it in to one shipping like the girl did. She did a bundle show. She locked it in. She was actually running some of the items, and then she was also doing like a bundle your items, And so I think that's where she went wrong. I don't recommend you have an auction show, like you're running an auction and you have a bundle show. If you're going to have a bundle, stick to just bundling. If you're going to run an auction, then just run your items, but you know that each of your items have a certain weight. Okay. And some people have asked me, how do I want to run a smooth show. How do I run a smooth show? And if I have different items with different weights, and I'll get to that, guys, I promise. Right now, let's focus on this scenario because I know you guys have other questions. Here, or maybe there's some things you haven't thought about and you want to know about it. All right. So, Blue, Serena said, what is the max weight you can ship with a bundle shipping of $9.21? Example, jewelry, beads, small items. It depends. And I already went through this. So if you guys want to know about this again, you need to purchase an item and go in your video receipt and go back and learn about this that I just told you guys. Again, I don't want to repeat myself over and over, guys, because it's going to throw me off. But if you guys make a small purchase, you guys will see the beginning of the video and how I talked about the shipping. I will tell you right now, the $9.21 is only up to 5 pounds. Okay, that's it, 5 pounds. And we're going to talk about it right in the next section. So if you guys missed this part here, you guys can make a purchase and you guys can see the beginning. Right now, we're going to focus on the customer place an order, and we're going to break this down. Okay. Now, like I said, the customer bought a glass item, a glue bottle, the buttons, the phone, the collectible bottle that I talked about. They bought all these items. Now, it was a total of 5 items. Now, if you ran it as an auction, it's going to appear like this. It's going to appear each item separately. It's going to tell you the weight. So if you weigh the item and you put a description for that glass item, it's like 16 ounces, which is considered 1 pound. If you did a listing for the glue bottle, 3 ounces. If you did a listing for the 2 bags of buttons, 16 ounces, which is $10. If you did a listing for the phone, again, we just added like random things. It was 2 pounds, came out to $40. And then the collectible bottles I just showed you was 2 pounds, and it was like $5. I was gonna say, okay. Now, we said our total cost was about $73. I already explained to you what Not's gonna take their fee, and this is not an accurate calculation, guys. Again, they're taking the 8% off each item. They're taking the 2.9% off each item, and they're also taking the 30 cents off each item. This is what they charge you for the fee that they charge, that they're taking their percentage. So that supposedly they're making this, but they also take a 2.9 and a 30 cents for a processing fee. That's like an additional charge. I believe that Whatnot works with PayPal, or they work with somebody else, and so they need to pay those people also. And that's where I think this fee comes in, the processing fee. Maybe they have to pay for the post office to create, these labels, whatever. And then I don't know, guys. I have no idea, but I'm sure that this right here, it's a cost for other things. Could be an app cost. I don't know. But again, they're taking their 8%. And we said that that total price was about $73. And we said that after they take their fees, it's going to come down to about $60. We're just estimate. But if you guys know the answer to it, go right ahead and post it. Stay Home said, can you explain why her flat rate shipping reset to double charge the customer? We'll talk about that right now. Did she put a low number of maximum items per flat rate box? That's another good question. A flat rate box is set to max number of items, no weight limit until up to 70 pounds. Only 15 to 20 will fit large in flat rate box. All right, guys. So I hope that some of your questions were answered. All right. So again, I do not recommend flat rate unless you're selling heavy items, and flat rate could be, again, like our bestie said, up to 70. Now it depends, you guys. Also be cautious with that. Something that's been happening to the customers, you guys, from the post office, is that if the post office weighs the items, let's say, okay, we're going to talk about this, guys. We're going to talk about this right now. And how we can, again, you can separate each item and create a label for each item that you auctioned. Or you could also split a few and then keep some together. So I'm going to talk about that right now, you guys. I'm going to teach you how to unbundle. All right. Now, let's look at the item that's going to be the heaviest. All right. So we know that if we're charging $9.21, this is not going to fit into a 5-pound box, okay? Because it got over. Maybe the customer did pay a little bit extra for the shipping, and so maybe they're paying $11 or the 12 or the 15, but you may need a bigger box, because remember that USPS has certain size boxes. But the glass item that we were talking about, remember I said, let's pretend this is a glass item. This item may need more bubble wrap, may need more tape. Maybe you put it in a box and put it in another box so that that box, in case it breaks, it won't break. Now, I've shipped glass items before, guys. My husband has on Poshmark. And so I'm going to tell you guys right now that if we're going to include this item with all these items together, this item is going to be broken by the time the customer gets it. But remember, we were talking about our reputation. We don't want the customer to give us a bad review. So we need to make sure that this item is well secure. Now, we're going to talk about, like I said, unbundle. Now, the other item, we have 16 ounces, we have 3 ounces, we have another bag of buttons, 16 ounces. And again, it's considered 1 pound. So you guys need to know the difference between ounces and pounds, okay? That's very important to know, guys. And again, if you guys make a purchase, you're going to be able to see how I talked about that in the beginning part of the video, because again, we're moving on, guys. All right, so here, the phone, it's 2 pounds, and then we have the collectibles on the 2 pounds. So in total, we have 2, 4, 5, 6 pounds and 3 ounces. So I'm going to put that right here, guys. 6 pounds and 3 ounces. Do you think if you were charging them the $9.21, and then depending on the boxes that you're using, do you think that all these items collectively is going to fit in one box? And do you think that if you know how to use flat rate shipping, then you know that you can do the 70 ounces. But in this case, we didn't do that. In this case, we just used the USPS priority. And so we're going to be using their boxes. Now, technically, you guys, you can use your packaging for either or. You could use any packaging. You don't have to use the USPS, but you need to make sure it's under 5 pounds if you're charging the $9.21. In this case, this came over here. Maybe the customer paid the $11 for shipping, but you can't fit it in the USPS priority boxes. Or if you do want to put in the US priority boxes, how can I split these items? So that's where we're at. We're trying to split the items. So, all right, what items do you guys think we should remove from the box? Okay, now we want to put something in its own separate box. Okay, so which one do you think we can remove from this order? I mean, not that we're removing it in the sense that we're canceling the order. We're simply gonna create a separate label for the item. So you guys, this is an interactive chat. If you guys can go, and there's 14 people here, I need you guys to figure that out. Again, this is for you to know. This is not for me to know. All right, someone says glass phone. You guys, I need more participation or I'm gone, besties. I'm leaving. You guys can figure this out yourself. This is all free, you guys. I'm not going to benefit from this. Everybody else is going to benefit from it. I'm waiting, guys. I need more answers. There's, again, more people in here. You guys should know. If you guys don't know, it's okay. Just throw out an answer and we'll figure it out together. All right, so some people are saying the glass items. So it looks like we have 2 glass items, but also the phone is one that's a little bit of a fragile one too, you guys. We have something that's also another fragile item, but it might come in a box already. So, but will it fit? Will it fit with the other items? That's another good question, you guys. And maybe it will. We're going to say, let's see. But you got to remember, it's 6.3, and the glass item is 1 pound. It might not be a big glass item. It's not. I showed you a water bottle. There is another glass item, a collectible. It is glass as well too. So maybe the collectible could be, because we said that the collectible is about 2 pounds. So maybe that could be, it is glass, like I said. You guys can split all of these up. You can create a label for each one if you like. But if you don't want to have too many things to ship, you could definitely, I would take out the biggest item. If it's like a big glass item, then let's take that one out. I think that maybe this collectible could be something that we can take out so that we have room. So it'll be 2, 3, 4, 4.3. Okay, but we might have to do some little bit of bubble wrap. Or I can remove both glass items. I can remove this glass item and this glass item and just keep these together. So let's go ahead and do that. So you're going to click on the person's order. You're going to click unbundle. Okay. When you click on bundle, you want to unbundle the collectible bottles. And you may want to also take out the first item, which is another glass item. So what it's going to do, it's going to keep these items together. That means these items will go together, and this one can go together, and you can wrap them. But let's go back over here, okay? Because now this and this weighs 2, 3. So your glass, I'm going to put it right here, guys. Your glass items are now 3 pounds. And your other items are 3.3. And that we're going to call it other items. All right, so there's 2 different things, guys, here. We created 2 separate orders. All right, you got that, guys? All right, do a screenshot if you guys need to. We're still going to talk about this, but if you guys need to do your screenshots, go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and now let's talk about this over here. All right, now if you guys at any point want to watch this entire video again, all you have to do is make a small purchase on this side, and in the video receipt, it's going to take you to the entire video. All right. So earlier I talked about ground shipping, and I also talked about priority shipping. Now, for ground shipping, anything that's 0 to 14, you could adjust it over to the 15 ounces, okay?
Oh, damn it.
I'm going to adjust it to the 80 ounces, okay? And so that's going to give you some cushion to be able to wrap these items carefully and add a sticky, a thank you sticky sticker, or a thank you card, or maybe a little freebie. I don't know, extra tape, the label. I don't know, whatever else you want to add. So again, you could adjust these for totally free. Now, hold on. Not everything can be free now, guys. Okay. Let me go back and read the comments, you guys, real quickly. All right, give me 1 second. Anything except the glue. You want to have 2 priority labels, what allows to 5 pounds each. Any combination that goes at less than 5 pounds per box. Yes. Yes, if you split up all the items, this one right here will be a ground. But we're not trying to split too many, guys. We're trying to just create 2 labels. From here, we're trying to create 2 labels, okay? Because we want to make sure that we're safe and making sure that we don't again, you could ship all the items together, just use a bigger box, but we don't want to go and buy a box. If you have a free box, you can probably use a free box. But if you don't, and you have, again, I'm trying to tell you guys to go get your free boxes from the USPS. Okay, not all those items are going to fit together, but you can split those order into 2. Now, we said that everything was about 3 pounds, you guys. So again, you could adjust anything that's 16 to 79 over to the 80. And you could do that for free. No charge, you guys. Whatnot will not charge you to adjust the labels within this group. Now, if, for example, you underestimated the weight of items over 5 pounds and you charge the customer $9.21 and you need to adjust it to a higher weight, then yes, you are going to pay the difference. So if you have to go into the 4 to 6 and let's say the 4 to 6 is about $11, the customer paid $9.21, you're going to pay the difference. You understand that, guys? So you're going to wind up paying the difference. And that's the same thing for if the boxes are heavier and heavier, then you're going to wind up paying more money. This is where the ugly comes in, guys. This is where the ugly happens to a lot of new sellers, guys. And not just new sellers. I've seen it happen to veteran sellers because, again, they've never done flat rate shipping. And they thought one day, I'm going to have a bundle show where I'm just going to bundle all these items. And so they try using the flat rate shipping and they wind up losing money. Again, if you don't know how to use flat rate, I don't recommend it. I recommend you kind of stick to this because at least if you're charging a customer flat rate like the girl, remember I told you guys that the girl had her thing on flat rate and we wind up paying $21 in shipping. I would prefer to if she would have had it set this way, maybe I would have only paid less, like $11, not $21. Get me? In shipping. Now, some people think that the sellers have the power to adjust the shipping cost, and we don't. And that's where again you're going to have to make some just cancel the order or again try to get help from whatnot. But if you're doing a bundle show and you bundled all these items and you thought it was going to weigh the $9.21, that's where you're wrong. And then sometimes this is another scenario that happens, you guys. People bundle all these items and ship it to the customer, but the post office ain't stupid. They ain't stupid, guys. They ain't stupid, okay? The post office, what they're going to do, they're going to weigh the item. Oh, what the hell? These people are trying to ship all these items to this person and they don't want to pay the extra for shipping. Yeah, guys, what's going to happen is when the customer receives the box, they're going to have to pay for the adjustment. Exactly. You cannot change it. You could change the shipping during your show. Before you sell the item, hey, hold on, guys. I need to adjust the shipping. You could do that in the moment. It might take you a little bit to do it. I mean, it can happen. But once the show ends and once you charge a customer that shipping costs, that's it. You're done. That's it. You're charging that amount. And again, sometimes a customer doesn't know that they're being charged $20 or $30 in shipping until they go into their entire order and they calculate everything together. That's when they know that they're being overcharged. And sometimes they don't catch it in the moment of the live, maybe after the live's over. And that's when they're messaging you and like, hey, back it up, lady. Back it up. We need to talk about this shipping. And you guys, the sellers are not making a profit off the shipping. We're not making a profit. People have this ideal that the seller is the one that's overcharging so that they can make that money. That's a nay-nay. That's a no-no. Guys, Whatnot is taking that shipping cost. They're taking that money. And so we're not. The sellers are not. We're not. We're just running the items, and so mistakes are happening in behalf of the seller. The seller can overcharge or undercharge. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about the 5 free adjustments, you guys. Whatnot offers 5 free adjustments. Now remember that Whatnot operates from Sunday through Saturday. Today is Sunday, and so you should have your 5 free adjustments back up. So last week, if you had some sales and you had to use your 5 free adjustments, and they put the weight. Tip bestie, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you. You explain things too. You should do your own. Bookmark, you guys, and follow Stay Home. Okay, guys. I know he does it too. Maybe like on YouTube. No, bestie, you probably add things on your YouTube. So follow our bestie, Stay Home, you guys. And they're also a seller too, so they probably know all the ins and outs. But anyways, guys, I want you to know that you could adjust anything from the ground over to the priority. Now, if you're a new seller and let's say you had 3 shows or 2 shows, for example, let's say you already maxed out your free shipping, then if you have to adjust from the ground over to the priority and you don't have any more, you're going to have to pay. And don't think that the free adjustments is good from, let's say you sold items that were in the in the USPS priority and the customer paid $9.21, but you're thinking that you can adjust it from here to here for free by using your adjustments. You're wrong. The only time these 5 free adjustments are good is from ground to priority. That's it. That's only time that you can adjust your label, and you only get 5 for free. Okay. Sometimes people use these all in their first show. They're having a first show. They sold a couple of items, and then after the show, you're like, "Phew, let's go print the labels now." And that's where they notice a mistake. Okay. Now, if you have to pay, if again, this is off the leaderboard, no more 5 free adjustments. I'm going to show you guys how you could adjust it and only pay a couple of dollars instead of having to pay the whole $9.21. Now, remember we said that maybe the customer paid $4.50 because they're paying half of that $9.21. Let's say they pay that $4.50. And if you adjust it just 1 ounce, guys, just adjust to the first 16 ounces, which is 1 pound. If you adjust it there, guess what? Once you pay, I think it'll charge you like another $1 or $2. So you pay maybe the customer paid $4.50, you paid the $2. So now it's $7.50. But again, you only pay $2. Now calculate $4.50 from $9.21. What is it? About $4.70 around there, maybe? I don't know. You guys do the calculation, not me. And let's say you adjusted it to the 5 pounds. So you said, you know what? I'm just going to add the extra overage so that I don't have any problems. And so I'm going to adjust it from the 15 ounces over to the 3 to 4. It's going to charge you the $4 and whatever change, you guys. It's going to charge you that if you go here. But if you just cheat a little bit, guys, go to the 1 pound, pay just half of those $4 that you're going to spend, or $5, whatever it is. Because again, remember, everybody is being charged a different shipping cost in the ground. Then that's where now, if I only adjust it to 16 ounces, pay $2, now I could adjust it over to the 5 pounds and not be charged anything. Tani, you said $4.71. Okay, so kind of what I was calculating, $4.71. So she's saying that from the $4.50, if that's what the customer paid, if you have to adjust it over to the 5 pounds, you're going to wind up paying the $4.71 for the remainder. But remember, 1 pound, you're paying $2 versus paying the $4. So where are we? Do we want to lose more or less? Put it in the chat, guys. Do you guys want to lose more or less? Put it there. We made a mistake. What do we want to be charged? All right, put it on there, guys. I'm waiting, guys, because I'm going to go. Nobody's answering. I'm leaving. Whimsy, thank you for answering. There's more people in here, guys. Come on. Help me bring the algorithm to my show higher. So the more interaction that I have in this live, the more information I can give you guys. All right, only one person, guys. Come on, help me out here. Help the algorithm. Put some hearts in the chat, you guys. Put some hearts in the chat so that more people can come in and, we get more interaction. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right, we want to be charged less, you guys. Can you switch me over to the other category? Vintage decor. All right, we're gonna try to get more people in here right now, guys. And I'm gonna show you guys how to get more people. Right now, there's about 9 people, but I'm gonna also move to another category, and hopefully more people will come in. All right, guys. All right. So again, we want to pay less. We don't want to pay more. We want to pay less. And so that is our goal. Our goal is to pay minimum as much as possible. All right. So hopefully you guys understood this. Now here we unbundle the items. We're going to ship these 3 items together, and we're going to these 2 are going to be together, and that's how we're going to ship the item. And then since it's 3, we're going to adjust it to the 5 pounds 80, just so that we have cushion, and this way the customer doesn't pay any more money, and also everybody's happy. And guess what we're going to have, guys? Once a customer gets their items, and you can also send a message to the customer and say, hey, you're going to get 2 separate boxes, so just look out for those items, because sometimes they'll message and say, I only got 1 box, and where's the other box? Or like, where are my other items? You're missing my other items. So make sure you put a little sticky note or a note in there. Hey, there's a second package coming in. And so the customer knows that there are 2 separate orders. Okay. So again, very important. Again, good customer service. What did you miss? Stay home. You said, I think I missed a step. Feeding grandkids. Missed the question. So the question was, do you want to pay more or less if you make a mistake underground? Let's say you weigh your items and it went over the 15 over to the pound. Or let's say you notice that the item is now, you thought it was 15 ounces, but now it's 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. Let's say you underestimate. Okay, guys, we're talking about things that are actually happening to new sellers, where they underestimate the weight of items. And so I'm just giving you guys a little trick, a little tip, so that instead of adjusting it over to the 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 1 to 3, just adjust it over to the 1 pound, which is 16 ounces. And instead of paying, because remember we said you're only being, the customer paid $4.50, but the remainder of the money, you're going to have to pay for that. So my question to you is, like, let's say under 1 pound, they charge you $2 more. But if you had to go to the 3 to 4, they're going to charge you the $4 and change. Get me? And so do we prefer to pay less, or do we want to pay more? And that was the question. Correct. You adjust it to the and pay the $2, and then you could adjust it for totally free again, even though I'm paying for the 1 pound. I can now adjust it to the 5 pounds for totally for free. You guys, you're already able. You could adjust 0 to 15. If your items weigh within here, you could move it to the highest amount, the highest ounce. Get me? Same thing here. You can move it from 1 pound to the 5 pounds, and whatnot's not going to charge you. You can adjust it freely here, no charge. The customer isn't getting charged, and you're not getting charged. You could move around. Let's say I thought something was going to weigh 5 pounds, but then the box that I'm using, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter, guys. Just Just anytime you guys have 1 pound, just adjust it to the 5, just to be on the safe side. I manually adjust all my labels. Just play smart, you guys. Let's think outside the box a little bit, you guys. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm just saying it to make sense. It makes sense to me that if the person bought something at 0 to 1, I'm going to adjust it to the 15 just so I can cushion and not have to, in case the post office says, oh, no, this item is, 0 to 1, and that's what they paid for, at least the post office won't send it back to you, because that's another thing that happens, guys. Anytime you're accidentally, you thought that the customer bought something that was priority, but it was ground, and you shipped it under the priority boxes, do you think that that customer is going to get their item? Do you think that if you paid, or not you paid, but let's say the customer paid for ground shipping, and you accidentally put it in the priority box, do you think the customer is going to get that order? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Put in the chat, guys. This is for you guys, not for me. Do you think, the question is, do you think that if you packaged the order that was a ground, that she paid ground shipping in a priority, that the customer is going to get it? The answer is going to be no. No, love. That's going to go back to you. That's what happens when people make mistakes with using the wrong boxes. You have to use, for ground, you can't use USPS priority free boxes. You have to use any other, you have to use one of the, what do you call them? Just any paper box, you can recycle. That's why I put the word recycle packages. You can recycle. You can use your own bags. Like if you have poly bags, you can use your own bags. But nothing, you guys, nothing that's underground can be used with priority boxes, okay? Or packaging or whatever it is that says priority. You can't. They're going to send it right back to you. Or they may charge the customer. If you did use a priority box and it has a ground label, anything with the letter G, the customer is going to get it and pay for that shipping. And guess what's going to happen to your reputation? Guess what's going to happen to your reviews? This is your review right here, guys. And remember, I told you guys to maintain your goal. If you want to get to 1K items sold, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be getting a bad review. And you guys, if you're new to my shows, earlier we talked about what the difference about ground and also priority. If you guys want to review that, you can also make a purchase and you can watch the entire video again. Whatnot, unfortunately, used to allow us to share the videos freely, but now they don't. So if you make a purchase, you're going to be able to watch the entire show and listen to the story time and everything that I provide, the information that I provided for seller support. Again, right now during the live, it is free, but in case you miss a step or something, the best bet is to make a purchase and then be able to watch it again. Again, there's lots of things there. I just put this right here because I was doing a little test and I was asking people to tell me what the shipping is on this item so that you can see that every person is going to get charged a different fee. So if you're in California, or maybe you're on the other side, East Coast, I don't know, New York or North Carolina or South Carolina, or you're in Iowa, I don't care where you're at. Whatnot doesn't charge the same fee. Your state, it's based on your state, how much they charge for ground. So again, if you guys want to put it right here, how much do you guys see the shipping price here? Again, we, the sellers, cannot see it. Only the buyers can see how much the shipping is here. If that was the case, if we were able to see what everybody's going to get charged for shipping, it'll show up at the bottom, but it doesn't for a reason. Okay. So again, only you guys get to see that based on how much we weigh the items for. All right, guys, I'm going to turn this around. So again, do a screenshot. If you guys miss this part right here, again, you make a purchase, you're going to be able to see it. Also, you guys check out the show notes. If there's anything in the show notes that questions that you have, go ahead and let me know what that is, and I can go ahead and answer that for you. Another thing that I found out recently, you guys, is that you can create, like, let's say you sold a bag of buttons, okay? Let's say you sold a bunch of buttons. It wasn't nothing handmade. It wasn't anything that's going to take you longer to pack. Let's say you sold 5 items, let's say, for example. You can create the labels for all your 5 items, and then Whatnot has it to where it gives you a barcode for all your orders. Even if this order is not all going to the same place, let's say you have 5 of these baggies because you had 5 customers that bought the buttons. There is actually a little paper, a slip that you can print out. And when you go to the post office, you could just have that one barcode or whatever, like what do they call it, guys? They have like a special any little square or something that pops out, and all the people's orders, the post person will scan it, and all the orders will come up, and all in one. Let's say you had 20 orders, and if you print that out, it's, instead of going and the person scanning one at a time, the post office is scanning each item individually. They just have to scan the little barcode, and then everything will pop up. So that's another feature that Whatnot has, if that works for you. Now, you guys, when I when I create my labels, I don't ship everything at one time, because sometimes some items I have to like print out, or they're handmade items or something like that. Those might take a little bit longer. So that might not work for me. But if you guys are selling, again, like I said, like things that you can quickly pack and take it the next day, you guys can create, again, just an individual sheet, and then everything will pop up if that works for you. All right. So that is something that it's a good feature in the Whatnot. Also, Whatnot has it. They're doing they have a pilot going on. I'm on the pilot too, guys, but I haven't been using it. But Whatnot has a pilot where it also scans, like you can scan. Hold on, let me see if I can see the feature pop up. Whatnot has it to where you can scan your items on your phone. Like you can take a photo of it. Let me see how that works. I forgot how that works, you guys. I don't know. I totally forget. Oh, it's somewhere. Anyways, there's a feature where you can, your orders. Let me see if it's right here. Is it here? Okay, here. I think it's here. Okay. So, I don't want to show you guys this customer's information. So I'm going to just put it like this. So if you guys see here, let me show you how I got here. So if you go right here where it says ready to ship, right here where it says ready to ship, you guys, you're going to tap on that. But I'm going to tap on it, but I'm going to put it away to the side. I'm going to tap on it. And at the very top, it says need labels, ready to ship at the top. Or you can go over. It says unfulfilled. You can check your orders here too. You can do that there. But at the bottom here, they have a feature that says scan to confirm drop off. So I don't know if everybody has that feature now, but you just tap right here, and you take a photo of the item, the label. You take a picture of it that you dropped it off at the post office, and it'll notify it'll notify Whatnot too, but it'll notify also the seller that the item is being shipped. You know what I mean? But if you have like 100 orders, this might not work for you. But if you have like less orders, then yeah, you can scan it, and it'll go directly to the customer and to Whatnot to notify them that the item was shipped. So this is something new. It's a new feature that they have. Unfortunately, I haven't been using it, so because I do get a lot of orders.